that they need to pass? What is the big stepping stone that they can do to show up today, Fear?
Well, let's start with winning some more games. They've only got one win. It was against Liquid. That is a team that is known as one of the best in the world. They actually nearly won that series, so very impressive from them. But since that series, haven't had many impressive things happening for them. But a good start would be potentially this cheeky little smoking play.
Yeah, maybe right here as well, as they will be approaching Omar, who is on the back foot. They will be abandoning their position here in Quest Esports and letting D1 Hustlers take over. See what they can achieve here. Spotting T2000 on the low ground with the Mystic Snake. They will begin action, and Morphling looks to be dead. Yes, he is. The Violama is going to be picking up first blood for the Visage, and it couldn't be a better start with Visage in the offlane.
Yeah, that's a great start, getting that kill onto the Morphling. I believe we saw this matchup just the other day, the Visage versus Morph. It's a tricky one. I think if you can get ahead on the Visage early on like this, you get a much better laning stage, which can propel you to that level 6. But if you start to get the Morphling some levels, it can be a little more difficult to play those one out. So very crucial first blood there, going to the side of the Violama. He did relegate his Doom to being played POS 4, so they really needed to make this lane work.
Yeah, for sure. Like all they needed was that quick extra start for the laning stage, and that is going to push the Visage one step closer to getting that early phylactery, which we do see from time to time. But of course, the mid matchup here, looking at Noob versus Atlantic. Atlantic, who also made his appearances last tour in a couple other teams as well. Not only the D2 Hustlers, but also dropping by as a stand-in for which team was it again in the end?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I forgot as well.
I remember that they won a game with a Zanting Timbersaw, and he had like over 30 KDA or something like that.
Yeah, that got first phase banned against him for good reason. After watching that one game and seeing how good Timber is now against these Universal Heroes and being a Universal Hero himself, a must ban, I think, when you play against him.
Yeah, one of the more effective weapons against D1 Hustlers. I saw that they had a good, bit of a merch campaign going on with some cheeky-looking T-shirts. TA2000 disappears off the face of the earth for the second time, and a second kill for Violama, who is, this is getting even better for the Visage.
Yeah, you like that one, huh? The throat singing from the Violama there.
Oh yeah.
After getting his kill. Yeah, this lane is very difficult for Morphling all the way until he gets to that range drop. You see, it's already queued up, but that doesn't unlock until 3 minutes into the game here. Don't have a lot of HP pool to work with as this Morphling. If you do want to shift up into strength and be a little bit more survivable, then you're just going to lose in the last hit department, so just got to tough it up for now.
Didn't quite get my throat singing voice line for TI, but let's see if we will try it again for this year. But at least happy to hear the Violama. You know, he's the idol. He's the guy I usually look up to for the throat singing.
Who's better? Oh? You or him?
I think no doubt is the Violama for sure.
Oh, okay. That's why yours didn't make him. His did. Got it. So Amar is playing Magnus here. So Amar on a bronze hero. Interesting.
Bronze hero. Yeah,
he's on a bronze. Oh, speaking of it, not looking bronze with that skewer.
Chat's gonna be out of mana, but 6 stick charges, or 1 charge is even in this case. We'll be able to get some distance between the Magnus and the Mirana. TA2000, meanwhile, having to hide in the tree line for a moment. Really getting bullied by the Violama here. He doesn't have a lot of CS exactly on this Visage, like maybe a couple of missed last hits here and there, but still having those 2 kills helps out a lot. And they're applying the pressure in the top lane at the same time as bottom is fighting Kaori. He's about to go down. He will fall. Getting a good opening there and just leveling up that Chain Lightning, maybe even finding a second here in TA2000, but not quite enough. They're happy with yet again another kill going their way.
And more importantly, the levels are going their way too. You're going to get that level 6 timing at this pace before the Morphling, but you'll see 3 minutes has unlocked. Instantly, the raindrops will be bought by most likely both players from the quest side here. So I don't expect them to die much more in this top lane. Raindrops really do ruin Visage's life. He doesn't have enough mana to just continuously burn through those and get the kills.
Yeah, it's no longer worth the investment of just buying extra mangoes or Sage's masks, or just getting that extra regeneration just to burn through raindrop charges. Like the worth really goes in favor for the Morphling. And of course for Quest, they want to get these levels up as soon as possible. They are a little bit behind for the time being. And they got to be careful about this 2 points grave chill, 20% movement speed slow into Doom walking right up to you. Got to be careful with that. And also the bot lane, which has been going pretty well for D1 Hustlers so far.
Magnus is a hero that I rarely see this hero lose its lane. With the repositioning skill with Skewer, you can get some random kills you're not expecting. It's a universal hero, so he hits like a truck, likes to build Vanguard. This hero is like the laning dream right now. It's going to be more about, what does Amar choose to buy on this hero? Is it going to be the meta, or is he going to try something else?
Exactly. That is a good question, because Amar, he does like to bring out his own iconic item builds into the mix and not just going for, hey, I'm just going to go Echo Saber Manta, you know, like the stat items you want to have. Of course, the Harpoon, maybe not the Echo even. Amar having to use one leap charge, has one still in the pocket. Hakoda doesn't quite get the stun out. Hoping for a quick connection there. Meanwhile, the Violama is actually being pressured in the top lane, forced away. Theoliker is going to have to take over the Punisher's role. Also has a set of raindrops soaking up some of that adaptive strike damage.
Oh, it's pretty nice what they're doing here. They're trying to coordinate before they use the Soul Assumption. Theoliker will pop the Chain Lightning to pop the raindrop, so they're getting the full damage out of it. But Theoliker might be a bit low here. He really wants to get this Chain Lightning off.
They could maybe get this kill. He doesn't want to use the Blood Grenade. Might turn out to be his death. Cost a bit too much HP to cast that one, but it's enough for a kill. That's going to be the third for Mr. Davai Lama.
They're playing this top lane beautifully for Davai Lama and Theoliker. They almost have the Phylactery online for the Visage. He's going to have it before he even has birds available. That extra nuke damage. I really like how they're using this Chain Lightning from the Doom here. It's just eating these raindrop charges. They're timing it perfectly right before the Soul Assumption hits. Drop that Chain Lightning, and it looks great.
Trying to poke in mid as well. Into Tiny here using the charge and the Blood Grenade, but that's going to go to no avail because Noob is going to be able to stand his ground, force them away, but the Power Rune is on the top half. It's going to be a bottle refill for Exantic. It's going to be a regen. Meanwhile, Davai Lama, he's in a bit of trouble. Might actually go down. This is a big kill for Quest Esports and for TA2000. If he's able to get this one, a couple more punches should do, but Doom is also making his way. Can't quite close out the kill, so they're going to have to reset. Fall back to the lane. Can't miss out on too much CS. Unfortunate for them not to get that kill.
Oh, for sure. Definitely, because look how close he is to his Phylactery. Just another 100 gold here. If they could have got that kill onto that Visage there.
Still trying.
Speaking of it, Davai Lama.
Potentially, he's going to stand his ground versus the Silencer, so he will drop. But that's going to be a trade-off of Doom getting a kill for himself. He didn't actually lose a lot of that gold, even though he did have a bit of unreliable gold in his back pocket. That point booster is still going to be up from the next creep wave, or maybe even from these bounties. Able to get them just in time. Also,
pretty good
now
there.
7 minutes in. Fighting for the Wisdom Rune. Good steal from Hakoda.
Oh yeah, Davai Lama got the Wisdom Rune as well, so getting closer to that level 6. Phylactery coming online. I'm a little worried for this top lane here, but one thing we haven't talked about pretty much at all is this mid lane. Tiny doing super well. Not destroying the Void Spirit by any means, but having a good game. These are both active heroes that are going to want to get around the map from 8 minute forward. I think they were the Power Rune. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And Tiny, a hero we don't see a lot of, and for good reason. If you don't connect with these rotations, you just sink lower and lower into that net worth, and eventually you feel like you don't have much of an option. And with that charge, they will take down TA2000 yet again. Not having the best game. 0-3-0 now on this Morphling.
And he's got the second least farm out of these heroes, too. If you combine Visage and Doom's CS together, that leaves Morphling last at 29 right now. Looking for the mid lane rotation, too, again with the charge onto the 8 minute rune. Is it again on the top half? Not this time. Invis for Noob. But he might want to use that for something. They gotta find a way to help out this Morphling in the top lane. It's not... I mean, it hasn't been going very well since the start of this game. How do they relieve the pressure off of this Morphling?
I think he's gonna have to rotate out soon. Davai Lama with Phylactery, with the birds available. There's not much to do here, but if you do want to try and relieve some pressure, it's got to come from Noob. You got to rotate your Tiny. He did get the 8 minute rune. He has invisibility. So maybe he makes a rotation of that top lane, and yeah, he is. He's TPing in with the invis. Will they be able to burst them?
There is a Spirit Breaker right behind enemy lines. There is the Marana here. The toss play comes out onto Divine Llama, but the charge beautifully connecting onto 2. They're looking for the Visage kill, and Divine Llama's going to be dropping. T2000 is going to be surviving as that big nuker is gone. No Doom available for Doom. He was literally like 50 experience away from getting level 6. Couldn't get Doom up.
Yeah, I mean, they got the kill. If they would have got the birds, that would have been really, really big, because he just summoned them.
Still camping for it.
Potentially. Yeah. Oh, they are going to get them. All right, okay. That's huge. So another 30 seconds. It might not seem like a lot, but for this Morphling, a minute to 30 seconds more will get him to that stage where he feels more comfortable to go in the jungle and farm, pick up the cornucopia, and just hit those creeps. So pretty big deal there, and it might keep their tower alive as well.
Looking for the Magnus there in the bottom lane. At the same time, he's just going to look for the TP out. Astral Step damage not going to be sufficient. They actually had the bird safe, but happened to waltz along the line of the Tiny just rotating back to middle. It's like, oh, 2 birds here. Let's kill them. So,
would you say he got 2 birds with 1 stone there?
Oh yes, they definitely did. And looking for the arrow combo with the toss onto the Void Spirit. But Zantic is very tanky on this Void and will actually survive that initiation. But here comes Doom. Level 6 is up. Can he get close enough to Noob? No, not this time.
But they will get the rune.
They will get the rune.
And it will be the almighty invincibility rune. So you're going to have to be careful for this Void Spirit, as you don't have a way of purging this one on any of the heroes on quest. And we got stacks coming out as well. Amar going for the traditional build. Not doing anything spicy. Sticking with the meta. Hitting creeps. We all know he loves hitting creeps anyway, but usually not with Magnus. He's got the Echo Saber queued up into the Blink Dagger. I'd like to see him just forego the Blink entirely this game, because you already have a Tiny. That's just what this hero does. He buys a Blink, and we've seen time and time again, if you just scale on this Magnus, you can be like more of a carry. And I know Amar fits that profile really well, playing these heroes and just scaling super hard.
At his aggression, his placement on, especially when we looked at the Mars series, literally he played 3 Mars in every single game of that previous series that they played out. It was working out. They will find themselves a rotating Hakoda. Easy pick off there for Noob. Not too much effort used for that kill, but that will still lead into a tower falling in the top lane. Violama going to be opening up the map a bit for D1 Hustlers. I was looking at some of the stats. I was looking at some of the top 5 players for West Europe at the moment, and TA2000 was actually topping GPM out of any other core player, and that was by a, well, I wouldn't say a massive margin, 40 more GPM until the next player, who happens to be Duracho from Gaimin Gladiators, followed by Skitter, Mickey, Ace. So this is definitely going to drop down his numbers a little bit.
For now. But he can always take off. This Morphling hero is a little slow and getting doomed here, and potentially solo killed by Dealer Core. So speaking of that,
for now.
Yeah, for now it's done, as the Pos 4 gets a solo kill.
Silence going to be used up as well, attempting for this kill. It's taken a long time killing off the Void Spirit, but it looks like it's going to happen anyway. And Hakoda doesn't have much to say about this. Oh, Medusa's Courier. Oh no. That's an ultimate orb lost, just like that. Violama coming into the rotation to take down Omar. Has the birds available for the stuns, but just pure right clicks. Take down the Marana.
Bit of a clinical showing here by the D2 Hustlers. 3k gold up now. They've got the Medusa. You've got to be in a pretty happy position. You got away playing this Doom in a position 4 role. Hell, you got more than got away with it. Like this, he's thriving. Yeah, he is thriving in this game right now.
Just 100 gold difference between the two. Of course, you still got Devour. And oh, Doom, he picks up a lot of farm during the game. That's a carry Morphling we're looking at, who's being surpassed by a Pos 4 in a matter of moments if he dies again. So Hustler's definitely schooling Quest for the time being, but where is the turnaround going to happen? We've got 2 separate rotations, one coming into
both
mid
carries under
and another
siege
towards
here.
Bottom. Medusa is in trouble. Quest making their way. Kaori's going to be finding him with the vision, but Medusa's got some warning signals from that smoke popping. Catches a glimpse of the silencer and able to walk away. Shat should be safe to TP out too, unless he stays to farm. Also, D1 Hustlers missing out on a kill. Nobody found.
That was very interesting because it was the silencer that broke, right, on the smoke. But they have a blink tiny. I think maybe if they had position swapped, hold that thought. Never mind. Lakota will.
There goes Lakota. He's still level 5. Gonna get tossed up in the air. Arrow's gonna miss.
Get back.
Like her.
Agreed.
A grenade thrown out for, you know, asserting dominance.
I believe the timing that Quest is going to have to hit is... one moment, a lot of action.
That is a pretty tanky target, but luckily for them, it's just a support Doom. First damage is sufficient. You also get a trade-off. Zantic finds the silencer. 1 for 1.
Very important kill there, because his DD was just running out. And I think he wanted to get that kill quickly and get out before their teammates arrive there, so... Very, very close before expiring. Nonetheless, he does get that kill. And I think if you are on Quest, you do want to break down this Medusa.
They found Medusa. This is a really good opening for them. And D1 Hustlers, they're going to have to come to the rotation. But do they have the TPs for it? Are they going to be making it in time? Noob trying to make a run for it. Shad still chasing them. Here comes Doom with the blink. Gets the dust out. Doom thrown out onto the Tiny. Global Silence coming out as well. Medusa still on the hunt, trying to slow him down. But nobody's turning their backs. This Tiny is going to be dropping very soon. Amar doesn't even have to go for that deny. As he's
he canceled
also
the
going to
skewer.
get caught. Oh my goodness. 2 big kills there, as Quest will drop 2 cores and a tower to fall too. Zantic still on the chase with Hakoda onto Kaori under the tower. Make it 3, as this silencer is not going to make it 3, so just 2 kills for them.
2 really big kills. Killing the heroes that were having good games, and I don't think they're done yet, as they do see Omar.
Maybe they can make it 3. The charge still going to connect. 2 more lead charges, but what can you do? That's 1. Uses the second for the escape, and TP still up. Omar gonna have to pop it right away inside the tree line. Where do you go? Pops a mango for some extra mana. They can't find him.
Oh yeah, he gets out. Had to use all his leaps for that, but well worth it. Not feeding away a kill, making some space. But back to the point at Quest, Morphling didn't have a game. All of a sudden, you kill the Tiny one time, you kill the Magnus, the 2 heroes that did have somewhat of a good game. That really hurts them out here, as the lead will continue now to 6k. Well, now 6k, keeps bouncing back and forth for the side of the D2 Hustlers.
Very sizable lead, nevertheless, yeah. It just continues to build for D1 Hustlers. They've really come with a storm into this this first game. Maybe a surprising Quest off guard a little bit too.
I think the story of these 2 teams in particular is going to be consistency. We've seen Quest, they're doing well, they're winning, but not all their games are the cleanest. Same with the D2 Hustlers. They're losing against good teams, understandable, but they're also winning against good teams. As Noob is going to jump in.
2 targets. We'll look for the Spirit Breaker ult to cancel out the Tiny for the time being. At Zantic gets some time thanks to that. And they're going to have to turn their attention towards Hakoda, trying to go for the charge away, but that's a very slow charge. And it's just not going to be enough for him to escape. Quest using the rotation for a kill, but still, Doom was actually farming up top. Dalai Lama's farming out bottom. Medusa just chilling on her side of the map, and 11,000 net worth already 17 minutes in. Medusa's getting away very, very far from the rest. It will spot out the Visage in the bottom. Ooh, misses out the Avalanche.
This arrow?
Also the Purge resummoned.
Yeah, you got the kill on the Spirit Breaker, but they had 5 heroes. They didn't use 5 heroes to kill the Spirit Breaker there, but they're all in the neighborhood, and as you mentioned, they didn't lose any net worth from it just because they're hitting creeps on all sides of the map here. D2 Hustlers deciding, we don't want to take the fight to you right now, even though we're ahead, but we're just going to play the economy game. We're going to out-farm you. We're going to use the space we have. We're going to wait until Dusa is ready to fight, and they don't have a good answer for Dusa. No mana burn in this particular game. The best thing you might have is the Aghanim Scepter. But with the start TA2000 is having, that's a long ways away.
This is the time for Quest. They got the Blink up on Magnus, they got the Echo Saber for Tiny, and they really wanted to look for a fight in mid. That would have been the optimal moment. They smoke up right next to the Medusa illusion. They will deny the illusion rune. Do Hustlers have an idea?
This has to connect. Look at the map. Like, you are so spread, and you're getting out-farmed by the second here.
And that's Zantic. He's the one to be spotted. And no... Oh no! He did the low ground, but it doesn't matter. Arrow's still going to be connecting, and they will make secure of that kill. Looked a bit scary for a second, but no problemo.
Yeah. Amar needs a couple more games on this Magnus to get him up to the what do you even call it? Like you turn around and RPM to turn the direction of him. He tried doing it, messed it up just a little bit, but luckily they have plenty of stuns that it didn't matter at the end of the day. So a learning lesson.
Yeah, pretty somewhat easy lineup for Quest to also execute, considering the amount of stuns they have. If they're really in trouble, there's always Global Silence. It's going to help out a lot. There is, however, a Manta for the Medusa. There's a Manta in the works for the Void Spirit. We got a Lotus coming up for the Doom. And
oh, the bird's dead. Those are on cooldown. Amar just blinks bottom and two-shots them. As the Visage just not nearby. Maybe it was just Divine Llama being really greedy. He wanted to farm top lane while also farming bot lane with his birds.
Nobody's showing up in lane, so got to keep up the split.
Efficiency. Yeah, for now. New birds are up. I think it's getting to a point, though, where I feel like you should group up on Hustlers and try and push this net worth advantage you do have with the Scotty, with the Solar Crest, with the mech on top of the Visage.
This guy's already got 1200
She's a
HP,
monster.
2000 mana, holding onto a great healing Lotus for an extra 400, full magic wand. Shat's going to be near impenetrable. You're gonna have to use
They're gonna have to
Medusa.
Skewer her, toss her into the tier 4 towers or something at this point to do the damage. And Morphling went for a Diffusal Blade. I get it. I think you kind of have to get it versus Medusa, but you chose this. Playing versus Medusa, this is the carry of your choice. Morphling, not a bad Diffusal holder, but not particularly an item you see a lot on this hero.
Yeah, you got Empower and you have the Diffusal Blade, so I guess they're just maxing it out on the moment they use Global Silence for the initiation. It has to work. It's like, you can't really afford to drop another fight. You're going to be pushed otherwise too far behind for you to catch up into the game. So Hustlers, they want to keep up the tempo. Try to hunt for kills. 3-man smoke. Bird scouting out as well. Well, they're kind of stacked up with the rest of the team, but extra vision nevertheless. Amar's TPing away. Kari should be safe. And a smoke dodged. Small victories.
Back to this Morphling. He does good damage right now, but he has literally no survivability. I'm going to build into that Agnes next. He's going to need a bit more time, but Roche is on the menu, I think, for D2 Hustlers.
Kari's in a good position too. Right next to the Roche pit, but his vision is very limited. They're pinging it out, actually. Hello! Right. Surprise!
I didn't even notice him there. He's just chilling. What's the game plan?
Maybe he wanted some of that, you know, Roche dying experience.
Yeah, that doesn't share AoE like Ancients or Neutrals.
Unfortunately.
But nice try, nice try. Is he going to steal it? Just walk in with a silencer and nab that one? That would have been the most epic steal of all time if he could have pulled that off, but unfortunately his cover was blown. Goes down, much like Roshan going down. And now you got an Aegis on top of this Medusa, who is queuing up a Daedalus. Shad has been like, I've got enough survivability this game. Let's go straight into the damage. As he uses the gate, pops illusions to push out top lane, and then gates all the way back to bottom.
Yeah, and also like the idea of not even going for Butterfly, but just straight up Daedalus with that tankiness that you already have. So I don't think you really want... I mean, you can get the Butterfly, but I don't think it's quite necessary. Just pump up that right click once your time is now. Your time is nigh. So they want to close out Quest Esports and their map.
It's also when you play against Morphling, he's gonna at some point steal your stats. So if you're building all stats, you're kind of helping him out. You can't steal the raw damage away from the Medusa or raw attack speed. So going into that, I've seen a lot of players build Moonshard and Daedaluses versus the Morphling as somewhat of a protection for the later on play of when inevitably he will get this Aghanim online for the Morph unless the game ends, which is always a possibility if they do want to press this high ground.
Yeah, and to think about like the shard that Hakoda just picked up from the Tormentor, you might say, oh, this is not a good planner pocket game. Like, what can you soak up? Toss? No. Adaptive strikes? Maybe the only thing you can soak up. Hey, 75% magic resistance against full-on AoE. This Spirit Breaker's gonna live for a very long time in those fights.
Yeah, big part of why this hero is so strong in general. You have the bulldoze, you got the pal in our pocket. Almost impossible to kill this hero with this strength gain. Just build up drums and you're already sitting at 1500 HP. Oh, nice arrow there from Omar to help him get out of trouble.
And Shad is pinged in mid. They know the Spirit Breaker's not there. They will smoke up from the top half of the map, try to close out that distance as soon as possible. That might be an indicator that Hustlers want to push down this tier 2 tower.
Noob is waiting
as soon as possible. That's
just gonna kill them
in the lane. Mirana shows herself in the top lane as they are already hitting the tower.
You can walk wherever you want as the Hustlers at the moment. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
They also got a tiny buff as that Visage is going to hit level 15 in a moment for the extra corruption as Kaori is going to get charged by Hakoda. Followed up by the Doom. Good night,
so we were
Silencer.
watching Quest in the last series, right? Remember Kaori was playing Phoenix?
Yeah.
Kind of just farming, building a Hex up. He's trying to do it again. He's playing Silencer this game though, so it's not really working, but he's got a Hex queued up in his quick buy.
I mean,
he's got big dreams.
You can't say that this man doesn't have optimism.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's very optimistic about this one. I think this is perhaps not the correct play. Get a Force Staff or something like that. Help your team out here. This Hex stream seems like something he's going to have to abort real soon. But I guess his read on the game is it's not looking good. It's looking real bad, in fact. We need something really big to get us back into this game.
It might take some time to get to that point, but once he has it, he's going to be like, well, the investment might be worth it, so high risk, high reward. They're going to charge onto the Tiny in the top lane. Hakoda does have the bulldoze up. Noob gets the blink out. Nice little dodge there.
Yeah, Hakoda just thought he, with the bulldoze, can get out of the avalanche fast enough, but slightly mistaken. Maybe should have used another strike there to keep that blink on cooldown just for a little bit longer. Either way, they get out here, and Amar, he's set up. Harpoon is ready.
Oh, here we go. And there we go. The Visage is going to be the first target of the fight. Global Silence coming out as well. Quest on a big fight for their lives here. Doom comes out onto the Tiny. RP from Amar, but it can't do any damage. TH2000 trying to help out as much as possible with that Medusa form. And it gets another skewer out on Hakoda. And they will find themselves a kill in a trade-off. 1-1. They, however, still need another good play from this Magnus. Amar gets the tip from Noob. He's like, you pretty much saved that and salvaged the situation. Can you make another play happen? Another harpoon onto Shat. There we go. Gonna catch the Medusa, push her all the way back to the enemy lines. And you talked about tier 4s being the answer. Tiny's, however, already down, and they can't get to Shat.
They had bigger dreams there. They're looking for the fountain, but not quite there. Maybe Tiny needs to get a harpoon of his own and really just toss this Medusa around for as long as you possibly can. With the
maybe
skewers.
Kaori should build a harpoon on the Silencer, you know?
Yeah. I mean, a Force Staff would the same effect, right?
Got to keep that.
I can't get over how this man still has 2,000 gold.
Amar, actually, he was charged. They had vision, but he will get 2 heroes onto the back line. Theolica's going to be low on HP with this Doom. Noob gets to interrupt as well with the Avalanche play, and it's going to take 1 hero down, but the melee Rex is already fallen. That's Anthony coming up with the jump as well. Looking at the Morphling team. 2,000 is going to be in huge trouble, as the Morphling's going to be taken down for 50 seconds, and so is Noob's Tiny going to be falling as well. And D1 Hustlers, not only do they get a lane of Rags, but they finally cracked the defense of Quest. And that's a lane, and there might just be a second one up for grabs.
They need to get Miss Medusa either directly into these tier 4s with a glyph or into the fountain. But the Aegis is gone now. Medusa is a little bit low on mana. You just don't have heroes to defend your base.
Dreams are made of these.
Yeah. All just dreams.
10 seconds for RP. And we got a huge play from Amar with the Morphling coming up in 10 seconds. Maybe to salvage the last lane of Rax. Might be an opportunity, but for Demon Hustlers, they're not giving in.
Kaori gave in. He decided he's going to buy a Dagon.
Okay. Might as well. Here comes the Global Silence, and Magnus can't get the RP off. Bashed and poked and prodded. Gets the RP off, but it's a bit too late. Maybe they can get something done with TA2000, but he's too squishy. He can't get close to the fight. And it's going to be a GG call coming out from Quest Esports as D1 Hustlers. They will take the first game.
Impressive game from them. I think Divai Llama having that good start in the offlane, shutting down TA2000 was super crucial for them in this particular...